Good morning everyone, and we're joined to watch the quarter final between Warwick first and Queen's Belfast first. The lags just happened, and Warwick have chosen to go with the break on the TV table. So for Warwick we've got Sam Pawley up. Okay, he's got a fairly decent split here on reds. I think is probably the colour of choice. The only problem balls being around the black area. Yeah, he's finding this tricky to decide which colour to go for actually, but I still think that red's are the colour of choice. Okay, so reds are in play. Right, he's got into that a bit much. Slightly fortunate, but he might have an angle here to disrupt the red by the black. That's a good shot. Again, unfortunate. I think just the bag cover and safety shot. It's come up a little bit short, and I think the yellow goes to the middle. Okay. The Queen's guy might try and cover the bag here, because obviously Sam's got two reds that go into that one. Hasn't really left Sam with that much difficulty. Can do two in one shot, but he's missed it. Okay. I think the Queen's guy's going to go for another bag cover here with a near bottom pocket. But I think he's handed Sam the advantage here. Just cover this bag. That's it. Now he's got control of the frame. Okay, so the Queen's guy's DF'd, and it's 2 shots to Sam. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm now joined in the commentary box by former Exeter player James Littlefair.
Hello, well I'm being welcomed back I suppose. I've just commentated on the Queen's Exeter game that you saw streamed before, and because that game took so long, Queens have the honour of being back on the television table with all the other quarterfinals underway. I've got a full rundown of what's going on, which hopefully we'll be able to put up as a comment on the feed so you can see what's going on in a moment, but I'll just read them out. To you. In the men's championship we have quarterfinals: Nottingham Trent versus Southampton. These are all first teams in the championship. Ulster versus Oxford, Nottingham versus Kiel, and Warwick versus Queens, which is the one you see before you as Sam Pawley attempts the red into the corner, with Queens once again fudging the bottom 2 pockets, which we've seen them do in almost every frame that they've ever played since the university was founded. In the men's trophy, which was for the teams finishing 3rd or the best place non-first teams in the group, so we've got Warwick seconds, who actually finished 2nd in their group but aren't eligible for the championship. They will be playing Durham first, and Cardiff first playing Kent first. Cardiff and Kent both very strong. Don't know so much about the Durham team this year, although they again finished runners-up in the speed pool last night. I tell you what, his shirt.
I think that's foul.
His shirt looked all over that ball. But he's going to take out the finish, but I really
think that was a foul by the Queen's
I really
player,
thought
think, James?
Foul. Yeah, obviously we can't say anything.
But
no spectators could say anything. A ref could call it, and the players could call it. But
yeah, it's got to be seen, hasn't it? And it's pulled, but
it would be coaching for anyone else.
yeah,
to tell
exactly.
them it's
But
a foul.
Sam's got to call that, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, I don't know if he was behind the player, and I suppose
Yeah.
you just can't see from there. You wouldn't
Suppose
expect
so.
someone to make such a silly error on such a simple shot.
Okay. Anyway, so it's 1-0 to Queens at the moment. Next up on the TV table, we've got Gwilym Enstone and
Kieran Fay.
Kieran Frey.
Yep. Kieran Fay representing Queens. Just to continue with our rundown of what's going on, the Men's Shield, which was the second tier of group stages, 12 groups there, top 2 teams progressed. That was 24 in the knockouts. We're now down to the last 4 pretty much. UCL first will be playing Glasgow first, both strong teams, well deserving of the promotion that they will have already achieved at this stage. And the other semi-final is Nottingham Seconds, who will play the winner of Strathclyde Seconds and Bristol Seconds, who are currently contesting a playoff. Bristol Seconds, new university to the pool scene, so they've done well to already put together a second team strong enough to get to the latter stages of that event. In fact, unless I've made a mistake and that was their first, because their first must also be in that
Bristol,
draw, presumably out. I might double check that was actually Bristol Seconds.
Anyway, on the TV table, we've got Gwilym with a break. He's gone in off, and it's open table for the Queens to decide. So, James, which colour would you go for?
I think he's kind of forced into going to yellows by the 2 up the top and the back left as we look. The yellow and red sandwiched together. That situation slightly favouring yellow.
Well, he hasn't spent much time looking at the table at all. He seems to be just getting down on the shots very, very quickly.
Well, let's face it, we know the plan. It's pot a couple of balls until you get positioned to cover one of the bottom bags.
Yeah.
Same old situation. Quickly run you through how the women's draw's getting on as well.
Yep, sure, James.
The championships, they're in the first round of the knockouts. York first versus Bath first, Lancaster first versus Plymouth first, Oxford first versus Manchester first.
Meanwhile, on the table off screen, Queens have got another frame, so it's now 2-0.
And Durham first versus Nottingham first is the last one in that women's championship. Women's trophy, Durham seconds versus Surrey first, and Kent first versus St Andrews first. So that's pretty much you up to date. We'll bring you scores as they come in as best as we can.
Okay, so the Queens player is electing to play a deliberate foul, and is that a foul snoop? I don't know. How much of the red can he see? I think he can just see both sides.
I'm not
like
sure
red
he can
towards
see
the middle pocket.
But it would have been an unintelligent shot to play, and given how many deliberate fouls and that kind of covering pocket situation we saw in the last frame. The last match against Exeter. I think it's an unsurprising result.
I think Gwilym's going to cover the near pocket again.
He's got it in behind that yellow. It's a nice shot.
He's taking control of that. It's been unlucky there with the cross double attempt to cover the bag.
So interesting to see that this game's been put straight on 3 tables. It does look like that is being done across the board in the men's games now. I wondered whether it was just to catch this game up, since they started later than the other quarterfinals, but I could see Ulster and Oxford to the right appear to be playing on 3 tables in this front section of 8 tables in the room. Got 24 at the back, 4 to the left, and another 20 odd in the other room. Plenty of tables, plenty of action this weekend. But Sunday is all about this room.
Good pot there from Gwilym from a tight angle into the middle pocket. Difficult they are. And not really sure what he's played for the next shot, but soon find out.
Gwilym pulling his Gwilym face there.
Yeah. He does that a lot. I've seen that a lot this weekend. He's potted some balls and he's not really where he wanted to be.
It's kind of slightly awkward weighing up face, mouth kind of pouted slightly to the side.
Yeah. He's been playing really well though this morning. Picked up a couple of nice counter clearances to win some frames and matches. So.
He's a snooker player really though.
Yeah, he is. He is, but you know, still potting balls at the end of the day.
It often takes snooker players a couple of years experience once they get to the university and are told they're going to be playing pool as well to get a feel for the rules and just adjust their game and mentality into
I agree with you there. Gwilym's been around the university circuit for quite some time.
Just getting here, Gwilym actually started as a pool player, is that true?
Yeah, he was at Oxford before Warwick, and he's been to BUCS. I believe this is his 6th year at BUCS now. So you know, he's a very experienced competitor.
More familiar with him tearing up the Midlands tournament on the snooker table.
Yeah, I think his accolades on the table have been mainly for snooker. I don't recall too many for pool, but not to say that he's not a capable player. Oh yeah, that's right. Just been reminded he's done quite well at the 9-ball UPC events for the last couple of years. He was seeded this year in that event.
How did he get on, do you recall?
Yeah, he lost to Phil Burford in the individuals.
No shame in that.
No, absolutely not.
The #1 player.
Yeah, the professional 9-ball tour player.
It's the UK #1, I understand.
Yeah, I think he is now at the moment. I think Gwilym's going to try and develop this red towards the bottom pocket. Oh, he hasn't.
Should say that's senior UK #1, not just a university level.
Yeah.
He is a genuine top player. So just nudging the ball into leaving it for later.
He is leaving it for later. I think the Queen's player's got the shot to play the yellow off the cushion, off the red, and then to cover the pocket here. So, yeah.
Well, there's room to at least nudge the red, but now Gwilym can.
Yeah, the only difficult shot really now is the black and where it goes. I'm not sure it passes the yellows down the rail.
He's looking down the line. We'll look out for the Gwilym face in a minute as he decides whether or not it does.
Yeah.
I didn't see a Gwilym face, which suggests it possibly goes.
We'll find out shortly. He might elect just to cover this pocket.
That would probably be the Queen's option, but he's covered the pocket nicely.
He's well in control of this.
Yeah, we know what's
now.
going to happen here. Just a tap on, make him play it next time. But
yeah.
And in kind of 2-in-1 shot there, that he's also blocked the path of the black down into the corner pocket. So although position on the last red is easy,
well,
he's going to have to play a double on the black, and
he's got a few options over here. I think. Yeah, if he could go the aggressive route, and he could actually pop the red over the pocket now and screw through the yellows to try and develop the black down the cushion, or
risky for position on the red.
It is, you know,
he's likely to have a pot up to the top pocket.
You could, or obviously the black doubles into the middle. You know, it's a fairly common shot, or he's just going to play the deliberate foul.
Interesting choice there. And as we see, Zach Roberts' frame against Stephen O'Connor coming to a conclusion. 2 balls remaining on that table, but he didn't want that one to drop. Just trying to snick it in behind the black to take control of the pocket and the dying embers over there.
Yeah, what it could do with a frame here, being 2-0 behind. We've also got Richard Whitfield on another table.
He's on the black.
Got a shot on the black here for a frame for Warwick.
And it's a simple shot, it's a gimme.
Yeah.
And it will be
it's now 2-1.
So Exeter's mistake in
well there to get a thin snick on that red and not pot it.
So Exeter's mistake in the quarter-final, if you can call it a mistake, it's not something they did by choice. They went down very early and found themselves fighting back from 5-1 down.
So got Queens with a deliberate foul here, and I think Gwillim's got a simple out here, just to slip this one into the... Ooh. He's misjudged that.
His problem is he's snookered on the low red. So.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's missed that, to be honest.
Did it pot?
I'm fairly confident it did pot. He hit it thick. He hit it quite thick. He's left with a difficult choice on what to do. I think I'd just play the deliberate foul and leave the cue ball at the far side top pocket.
Yeah, top right as you look on your screen. He's played the pot and now we'll be looking for the deliberate foul. Actually, I quite like that.
I think he's playing that shot. I think that was the way to go.
Could have played that with a little more care, just to leave it awkward on the cushion.
I do
like to see you take every opportunity to put your opponent in trouble, and
yeah, I know what you mean, James.
That you can't manoeuvre the cue ball around.
Yeah. And meanwhile, it's gone 2-all. Zach Roberts for Warwick has just potted frame ball on the table to the right of the camera.
Did you see the finish there?
It was a fairly simple clearance, to be honest.
Saw a referee over just a moment ago, perhaps clarifying which ball was hit first, or...
Yeah. Right.
Zach looks like he's been on form. I'd only seen him play snooker before, and...
Who's this, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very, very accomplished pool player. This weekend he's probably played the best I've seen him for quite some time at the BUCS. He made the last 32 of the individuals, losing to the semi-finalist from Ulster. I think it was Matt Sellers.
Sure.
But no, he's been playing very, very well this weekend. I think he very much excuse the sound in the background, viewers.
Please attend the presentation at the close of play in full dress code. The presentation is on photography.
Again, sorry about the background noise there. So the Queen's player decided to develop one of his yellows out of play, which obviously was the right shot, considering the black is still safe. So not sure how much of this red Gwillim can play. Again, he could play the very aggressive shot and get into the black and yellow if he really wanted to.
I'm not sure if he can keep it out the pocket.
The draw might be just in the way for that shot, actually.
He's looking at whether he can pot the... Is he looking whether he can pot the black into the top
right
right as you look on your screen?
Yeah, it's difficult to tell, really. Does it pass the yellow to the same pocket as the red?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I'm convinced it doesn't. But I think he might be looking at the spectacular option, or maybe he was just weighing up whether he could leave the cue ball pretty much on top of where the black is now.
Yeah, we'll soon find out what he's chosen to go for. Again, he could play the two cushions straight into them with a bit of right hand side to widen the angle into the black and yellow if he so chooses.
Well, well, well.
Yeah, he hasn't played that very well at all. Obviously, he's got a total snooker on black. I think his only option is to just nudge the yellow into the black and leave it touching ball. I think if you can get it touching ball on the yellow next to the black, I think that would be the best bet. Obviously, then the Queen's player has to play away.
Yep. Yeah,
and he can't develop it in
anything other than touching ball, and he's got the option to blast out the yellow and black.
Exactly.
And then if they go nice, it could be a straightforward finish.
Yeah.
But he's going to go up and down, which is the option I think I would favour. Try and nestle in behind the black. No need to give away 2 shots if you don't have to.
Oh, he's done well there.
He's done well. He's left the white too
slightly
close to this yellow to
black's come away from the
a
cushion.
good chance of potting it.
Yeah, I think if I was the Queen's guy, I'd just thin snick this and snooker Gwilym. I think I'd go for the snooker.
Well, you could always send it down towards the bag. A bit of risk involved.
He could do, but it gives Gwilym a shot on the black where you can see, and we've all seen a few flukes at these tournaments over the years.
I'm saying I think he can pot this.
You think? Well, he can pot it, but I think it's not an easy positional shot. You'd have to go twice across the table to get onto the other yellow. Yeah, I think that's the shot.
A delicate one.
But I think I'd have tried to play it with a touch of right hand side, so it would have gone closer to the yellow. That way he doesn't have the one cushion escape kind of thing. Which maybe it might be 2 cushions. The yellow on the far side is slightly in the way of the natural angle.
So he could pot this. It is potable. I think he's just about got the natural angle. He doesn't have to do too much with it.
Yeah, he might. It's very, very close to that yellow though. It's very, very close to the yellow that he's got to play. Yeah, obviously he's trying not to leave a mark on the side cushion as a aid for the angle. Obviously that would be a foul.
Well, he's ended up hitting that off 2
Well,
cushions.
he's hit it, which is the main thing.
It is, of course, a foul because he hasn't hit a cushion after. Oh,
Right,
total,
I'm pretty sure he.
Sorry, it was total.
I'm pretty sure he didn't call a total there.
I thought that was what he was talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he called a total. I just don't think the Queen's guy heard him. That's all.
My first duff call of the day.
Probably won't be our last though, James.
I just saw them chatting. Thought something's happened.
Yeah, I just don't think the Queen's guy heard Gwilym called the total on, but it was quite blatantly a total. Players at this level shouldn't be missing those.
Nor should commentators.
But anyway, Gwilym's in a snooker here again, and he's in a spot of trouble. Oh, he's done well there.
Again, he's hit it off 2. But these are potable now, are they not?
Yeah, the yellows are potable, but with the cue ball so close to the cushion, it's difficult to dig down on the yellow, so he's got to play it
softly. And just
play it softly. Just I am surprised at that. He's playing the percentage shots here.
So what do you reckon
James,
here?
You've seen the Queen's guys playing the Exeter previously. So would you say they're less aggressive and more tactical?
They are not in the slightest bit aggressive, which is a shame because they're all good potters. They all have the potential to be. But this is the game they all play. This is the game that Queens have always played as long as I've been watching them. I was saying they were playing like this back in 2 years ago when they went out to Nottingham on a playoff. The eventual winners.
Oh, he's got a foul there.
He's got a result there, but not least because the black nearly went in.
He's fouling 2 shots to the Queens.
But it's only a result insofar as that he hasn't lost the frame already. But
yeah, but I think the inevitable is probably going to happen here. Oh
well. Oh well, that's going to delay
he
things.
still should take this out though, to be honest. I think he was suggesting it might have rolled off, but
everyone will claim a roll off when they miss.
He's played that well. He's played that well.
He's got the distance.
Yeah. Got natural angle here just to get on the black. And just a simple roll for 3-2. And Queens go 3-2 up.
So we were talking in terms of tournament favourites earlier, as Queens have the potential to go 4-2 up on the table to our right with a medium difficulty yellow down the line, which would leave...
Yeah, he doesn't have much to do with the cue ball though, does he?
But who were your favourites at the start of the week? How are they getting on?
Well, to be honest, my favourites for the team event were probably Strathclyde, but I don't know if viewers have heard, but they've gone out to Kiel first, which was a shock, 6-2.
Viewers have been getting updated regularly on the proceedings around the room.
Yeah, I think Strathclyde's a team in recent years that have not fulfilled their potential.
Yeah, well, Paddy McWilliams of BUCS snooker fame was commenting in, saying that Strathclyde, the perennial BUCS pool underachievers, once again.
Yeah, I have to agree with him.
Black ball potted on the table to our right for Queens. It's now 4-2. So any others you'd picked out at the start? Are they still going?
Not really. I thought Strathclyde were the strongest, but
I think most people did.
Yeah, I think there's a few other teams that have all got a few good players, and a couple of others that are very, very decent and strong. But I think it'd be tough to call the winner now.
I think I had Southampton as my pick at the start of the week, but with Queens, Strathclyde, and Oxford as kind of a tied second favourite.
Anyway, meanwhile on the TV table we've got Richard Whitfield from Warwick versus who's the Queen's guy here, James. Okay, it's Michael McGuinness.
Michael McGuinness, yeah, who I'm less familiar with among the Queen's players.
Yeah, I don't know much about some of the Queen's guys, obviously, with the player rotation every year, with the new influx and the old players. I've only know a couple of the Queen's lads.
Well, we've got the two Maguires, John and Andrew Maguire, who were in the snooker last year, alongside Stephen O'Connor.
Yeah, some solid players, and Northern Irish internationals for the student pool teams.
Kieran Fay is apparently the Queen's captain this year. And John Curry, the sixth man, again left out of proceedings for this quarterfinal.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. He had a very, very good run in the individuals, didn't he?
He did go deep, but it's a tough team to get in.
Yeah, I think it was at least the last 16.
Yeah, last 16 he eventually went out.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I can't make any of my jokes about whether he's playing the Cormer or Balti balls. Oh wait, I just did.
It's still open table. And there's still a large cluster of balls in the middle.
I wasn't actually looking when the break took place, but it looks barely legal. It looks.
Yeah, it was legal.
Yeah,
it was Richard with the break, and he likes to go for the safety break. He prefers a more closer frame. You can keep an eye on the other guy then.
Even
he knows he's going to get a shot. Yeah. No, I think Richard's strongest method to win the frame is to draw it out. Although it's probably not the most exciting frame to commentate on, is it, James?
Oh, we've had a few. We've had a few this morning.
So Richard with the deliberate foul. Queen's guy might elect us to break open the pack, but he's checking to see where the ball's split.
Hopefully we'll be able to bring you some score updates in the other tables shortly. You've been treated to a few earlier in the day. Joe Redhead doing an excellent job on the feed and checking out what's going on for us.
So should we just go through the other quarter-final matches?
Yeah, we can have a look through. So it's Trent versus my pick for the week, Southampton. Ulster taking on the Southern Universities champions Oxford. Nottingham taking on the surprise package of Kiel. And of course Warwick and Queens right before your very eyes.
Okay, so Nottingham have actually beaten Kiel, but we don't have an exact score for that. But we do know that Nottingham did win that one. So Nottingham's through to the semi-final.
Nottingham scraping through to the semi-finals despite, by most people's reckoning, not having,
it's a bit of a surprise.
Vintage year.
It's a bit of a surprise that they've beaten Kiel, considering Kiel's just knocked out Strathclyde.
Well, it's difficult to know whether that was a fluke or not. Kiel's win over Strathclyde. I mean, Kiel didn't win their group, and they had Bath in their group, who you would say, you know, it wasn't the strongest group by any stretch.
Well, I watched
not a great team.
I watched a couple of the frames of the Kiel Strathclyde match, and probably Strathclyde's best player, David Farrell, got broke dish. You know, and obviously you can't do anything like that. Meanwhile, on the table to the left of the TV table, we've got Warwick's Seth Furlow with a shot on the black to go and drag it back to 4-3.
It's an awkward, snicky one.
So
it's
slightly
a little
tricky
bit close to the black, sitting on the table.
It's a slightly tricky cut down
over a yellow. Needs to get his hand out of the way quick. Oh, air shot. I don't think I've seen an air shot in pool before. He went to jab it and pull his hand away. Didn't even hit the white.
At least he's got it though. That's the main thing. He's brought it back to 4-3.
At least he didn't just brush it.
Meanwhile, James, your favourites Southampton are in a playoff against Trent, and 1-0
up in the playoffs. So that's 6-5 overall. First to 7 it becomes now, effectively.
Yep.
3-man
Joe Redhead
by the
doing a grand job getting the information from around the room for us.
Yeah, we can see Curtis Haberstraw is at the table. Presumably Mickey Olding will have been involved. In fact, I can see Mickey Olding at the side, so he must have won his frame. Probably their star pool player.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah.
A very solid unit of 5, though.
Anyway, so Richard on the TV table's doing a grand job grinding one out for Warwick.
Balls have come a bit loose now. We might see something.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm quite an aggressive player, or was an aggressive player, and I'd probably take the yellow to the middle and try and develop something.
Yeah. People think I'm not an aggressive player. Actually, I'm pretty aggressive. You know, even if it's getting tactical, I'm always looking to develop the frame further.
Okay, cheers.
As we've had a watch handed into us, lovely. I mean, and on Test Match Special, they get cakes. This doesn't even look edible. Has it got a little engraving under there? Oh no, it's just the brand. Bit of a Rolex wannabe, looking at the slogan. And we've got another latest score coming in. Ulster doing it for the Northern Irish, 4-2 up against Oxford. Oxford with a strong team this year, very tactically aware. I'm glad they've not met Queen's so far, because we would be asleep by now.
Is that
Adam
also
Smith, the main culprit there of the slow tactical grind, and he's in one now. Presumably the one with all the balls left on the table, just tapping them out.
Well, I think Richard's going to go for this.
Yeah. Well, it's looking makeable.
Do you think the red is close enough to the middle bag that he can play the yellow up the rail towards the middle pocket and in off it? I'm not quite sure. I think it might be slightly too far, but we'll find out what he's going to do.
It looks slightly too far for my money. But always difficult to tell from our television angle. We're not much above the playing surface.
But he's left himself a nice angle here.
He's handed in a watch, so if you miss a watch, you'd like to lay claim to it, please to the position desk and describe it, and it will hopefully be able to reunite you with it. So if you've lost a watch, please come to the competition desk.
Another frame on the board for Queens. Is that them on the hill? Stephen O'Connor getting the result over Gwilym. Stephen's been
5-2
nailing his frames. As you hear an announcement in the background there for said watch, which will hopefully be reunited with its owner.
Is the score definitely 5-2? Because we've only got two frames in play.
No, it must be 3.
Oh, it's 5-3, Joe. No, it's definitely 5-2, isn't it, James? I think.
Well,
we've had Seth. Yeah, we had Seth. I think it's 5-3.
5, yeah.
I think it's 5-3 because we've only got 2 frames in play. Obviously, maximum of 10.
So it had gone 5-4. I'm sure the more astute viewers will have noticed that we called a frame win for Warwick and didn't update it on the score. It's 5-3, and the same position as Exeter eventually managed to worm their way back into needing both the last 2 frames to force a playoff.
So Richard's gone for did go for the development shot from the pot on the middle pocket, and he's snookered himself. So we can confirm it is 5-3, and we've just updated the scores accordingly.
He's got the hit and nudged the black into play.
Sorry about the score discrepancy. Sometimes you miss frames when you're running around grabbing results. Sorry about that.
Our fault. Our fault.
So Richard's done well there to get out of the snooker. And
unlucky not to leave the pot because he only
he
needed
is.
some kind of shot at it, and he was going to be on the black the way it's sitting. So we see.
I think this might just about be cuttable though for Richard. I think it's very, very close to. But obviously, when you're playing such a thin cut, you've no idea where the cue ball is going to be going.
Zach Roberts gone in off on the other table, and that'll be 2 shots to the Queen's captain, Kieran.
Yeah, you've got to say he's probably favourite for that frame now for the clearance. Not really a difficult ball on the table off stream.
Who's Warwick's captain this year?
It's Richard.
Oh, okay.
It's Richard, the chap at the table at the moment.
Team captain rather than club captain.
Yes, that's correct. Team captain, yep.
Club captain is
club captain.
Who's club captain?
It's Jordan Roberts. It's the second team team captain as well.
And now the table we're looking at also favouring Queens. Lots of balls in the loose, and he probably, well, he could go for it. He could actually play a 2-in-1 shot on the red nearest to him here. You'd think one of these two frames is going to go the way of Queens and we'll have a result, but you never know.
Okay, so we've got an update for the Southampton-Nottingham-Trent playoff, and Nottingham-Trent won 2-1. It's a slight surprise, James, would you say?
Well, no. The way Trent have been going, I mean, they beat Exeter in the groups, which is always a good result, and won fairly convincingly in their last 16 match. So just because I don't know anything about them doesn't make them not a strong team. Performing very well and realistic contenders to win the title.
And on stream, Michael McGuinness for Queens is going to go for the clearance here. He's not played a good shot there, has he, James? He's gone enough into the middle.
What a swing! And suddenly things are looking Warwick. Oh no!
And Richard has got a fairly simple out.
Well, Richard does actually
to go 5-4.
His chance to get the clearance over and done with there. Frustrated. We've got a tap in black on our match table. Result on the far side. The result is actually going to be 6-3.
Yes, it is. That's good. That was a good pot. That was.
Zach is distraught. It was a really thin cut off black, close to the top cushion, white, very low. It was, and yeah, even though the black was potted on the table in front of us, it was just after the one on the other table. So 6-3 rather than 6-4. The result won't be much consolation to Warwick that they know they got the next frame. So that's another 6-3 win to Queens. Do we know who they've got in the semis? Nottingham. They'll have Nottingham. So arguably they're on paper easiest match of the 3 knockout ones so far.
Yeah.
And the other one will be Trent against Cardiff or
Oxford.
Oh, sorry, Oxford or Ulster.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. We'll have a semi-final on for you shortly.